Welcome, dudes and dudettes, to another hardcore Halloween. And tonight, I have another review for you horrible people. So let's go camping. One of my favorite shows as a kid was Salute Your Shorts on Nickelodeon. It focused on a group of campers trying to survive 3 weeks at Camp Anawana. Astonishingly, those 3 weeks turned into 2 whole seasons. Now, everybody who's watched this show obviously remembers the Zeke the Plumber episode. You know, some creepy, noseless plumber motherfucker who moitas everybody with his plunger. Of course, it was just Ugg and a mask, but I'm sure it gave kids nightmares. If not, the melon head and donkey lips and a pumpkin mask did. You know what one of my favorite moments was? And it happened in a couple episodes. You guys remember those traps? You know, the mouse traps that were shooting off the eggs, the bucket of SpaghettiOs falling everywhere, and the train shooting the feathers up everywhere. Choo-choo! Camp Anawana, we hold you in our hearts, and when we think about you, it makes me wanna... What? Oh, we're not reviewing Salute Your Shorts? Well, what are we reviewing then? Oh, goodness me, that wouldn't work at all. When it comes to horror movies involving camps, I think the first thing that comes to mind is the Friday the 13th movies. A bunch of stupid teenagers go to Camp Crystal Lake and immediately get butchered by an undead Martin Brodeur with a machete. But in the 80s, a few imitators started coming out. A notable one being Sleepaway Camp in 1983. This movie is notorious for 2 things. One is being one of the very few slasher movies of the time where most of the victims are actual kids, rather than adults pretending to be kids. And the other... Actually, I have no idea. I haven't seen this movie in a while, so I can't quite remember. I don't know, maybe when I watch the movie for a bit I'll figure it out, but... Let's start roughing it up and review Sleepaway Camp. Roll the footage. So as the opening credits roll, the camera scans over a deserted campsite where we hear children's voices in the background, while this ridiculous music plays. Hey, can somebody tell Beethoven to ease off on the organ? We're trying to hear the ghost people here! So we cut to a sailboat on a lake, where we see this guy John chilling with his 2 kids, Peter and Angela.
Cut it out! Daddy, tell me to leave me alone. Peter started it. I did not, you liar. This too did not.
As someone who is a New Jerseyan myself, we do not claim these 2. What were you trying to do, pants your dad? Gross. Unfortunately, Johnny Lawrence from Karate Kid is nearby, trying to teach Allie Mills here how to drive a speedboat. The results are ugly. Never have her drive anything again. You might kill some... Oh, never mind.
Oh my God! Somebody help the people!
Quit your power leveling. They're only in 2 feet of water. But alas, dear John is now dead John, and one of the kids, apparently doesn't know how a lifesaver works. Who can think of candy at a time like this? So we cut to 8 years later. The surviving child, Angela, now played by Felissa Rose, is living with her cousin Ricky, played by Jonathan Tiersten, and her Aunt Martha, played by the late Desiree Gould.
Hurry, sweeties! We don't want to be late for the bus!
Goodness, no. Well, that wouldn't do at all.
Oh boy, Aunt Martha. Her character... I don't know. It's like if you took Stacy Jones from Shining Time Station and crossed her with the narrator from Fun in Balloon Land. With even more drugs.
Any chips?
Why, of course! I believe there's a whole bag!
I take that back. Dee Dee Khan is a much better actress than whatever this is.
Now what? I believe that I've forgotten something.
Your crazy pills?
We can't go to camp without our physicals now, can we? Just be careful not to tell anyone how you got them. Oh, no, I'm afraid that they wouldn't approve of that at all. even though they know that I am a doctor.
Oh yeah? And why's that? Where'd you get those papers from? Arkham? Aunt Martha is only on screen for about 5 minutes, but in just those 5 minutes, she instantly becomes one of the most memorable things about this movie. This character is so beyond cuckoo that Cocoa Puffs wouldn't even stop her madness. Honestly, I'm surprised Ricky and Angela came out normal enough to put up with this nut all those years. Oh yes, I'm sure these two sweet, adorable, nice kids are totally going to get along with everybody at Sleepaway Camp. Scout's honor! So Ricky and Angela ride the bus to Camp Arawak in Argyle, New York. This camp is run by Mel, played by the late Mike Kellen, and Ronnie, played by Paul "What Are Those Shorts?" D'Angelo. The rest of the crew are not so put together either.
Hey, look at all that young, fresh chicken. Where I come from, we call them baldies. Makes your mouth water, don't it?
You know, if Chris Hansen didn't fuck up that Onision case so badly, I'd be calling a raid on this guy. Elsewhere, we meet Ricky's friend Paul, played by Christopher Collette, who takes a liking to one of the other campers.
Hey, Rick! Where do you get a load of Judy?
Somebody's hormones are moving like a Mack truck. Eventually, we're introduced to Judy and, well, I have no comment on her forward personality, but holy crap, that is the longest hair I've ever seen. What is that, extensions? It has to be. I haven't seen that much hair since Adagio Dazzle. And she's less evil than Judy here.
Who were those guys?
Just some boys I met today.
Weren't they a little old for you?
Don't you know girls mature before boys?
That's bullshit and you know it.
Ricky, I don't have time for your nonsense right now.
Well, excuse me, bitch.
No. The bitch counter's not gonna be enough. Go on, save yourself. There we go. So, if you haven't noticed already, there are a lot of scumbags at this camp. But there's a few nice people too. What's funny is that you can actually tell, looking at these characters, which ones are the assholes and which ones are the baby faces. Camp Counselor Meg, the absolute cancer. But Camp Counselor Susie, the angel on Angela's shoulder. There is an even balance between baby faces and heels here. The big question is, will one side prevail? Or will they hit us with a Vince Russo swerve and have one of them turn on each other? Oh, who am I saying? This is a slasher movie from 1983. They're not gonna hit us with a Russo swerve. That'd be silly. Although, did you know that this is actually Vince Russo's favorite movie? True story, bro. So I don't really have a lot to say about Angela. Still traumatized from the boat accident and being stuck inside crazy Aunt Martha's house for years, she's been in a catatonic state where she won't talk to anybody or do any activities. She's basically mute for the first quarter of this whole movie. Counselor Ronnie tries to help her out by bringing her to the kitchen to get something to eat. With Chef Artie Weinstein there, this is a bad idea.
I bet we can find something interesting in the walk-in.
Hey, what are you doing?
Keep your mouth shut, Amy. They didn't see nothing. Got it, nothing.
Yeah, sure. What do you want?
Now get the hell out.
Thank you, Ricky. You just saved your cousin from the hands of greasy fate. Chef Artie will not go unpunished for this disgusting act. He must be sacrificed to the corn, and there's plenty of it. Good thing we have this giant ass pot of hot water to stuff him in. Ew, that's grody. You want me to pop that? This is while he's screaming. Now, it is debatable that Artie died from getting burned by the hot water. I don't know. Can you really kill a person by splashing hot water on them? I don't know. Maybe if you're like such an evil bastard, hot water is your kryptonite. It's like hot lava. Also, of all the characters to not potentially die, this asshole!
3!
I didn't mean that asshole, you nudniks. So now it's time for the annual nude night swim, and two guys named Kenny and Mike try to woo Angela into joining them. Yeah, good luck, guys.
Listen, Angela, let's say, me and you go for a little walk somewhere. What do we talk about tonight, huh? What's the matter? Can't you talk? I told you she was playing with half a deck. Angela the Nutcake. Ain't that right, Angela? Ain't you Looney Tunes?
Maybe, but I don't think Lola Bunny will be around for another 13 years.
Hey, dick-face, leave her alone.
Oh, yeah? What are you gonna do about it, asshole? Fox! I'm gonna beat your fucking ass!
Yeah, keep on cussing, Ricky. We'll be up to that X rating in no time. Well, after that epic disaster, there's only one hero that can step in and save the day. And that guy's name is Paul. I don't know, after Deadly Friend, can we really trust another boy genius named Paul?
Me and Ricky, we go back a long time. We've been best friends for 3 years already. We always seem to get into trouble together. Last year we hung the girls' panties on the flagpole.
Salute Girls' Panties just doesn't have the same ring to it.
Good night, Angela.
Good night.
Yay! It's a miracle! Paul has actually unlocked Angela's dream power and finally gotten her to speak. The day is saved! Now let's all celebrate with that naked night swim. Okay, seriously, what is with all the underage nudity in this film? Like, why is it even here? Does it have any impact on the plot at all? No, of course not. Why would it have any effect on the plot? That's ridiculous. You hear me? Ridiculous.
What the hell are you doing here? I bet the rest of the boys will be interested in seeing you.
Uh-oh. I think Kenny woke up Cthulhu. The next morning, Kenny's body is found on the beach and... wow, that is a gross effect. The snake coming out of his mouth and the lesions all over his body, that looks amazing. So Kenny's death is reported to Mel. With the chef in the burn unit and one camper dead, Mel should just cancel the rest of camp and send all the kids home, right?
So it was one of those fluke accidents we could not have foreseen, and that is all there is to it.
I don't know.
It was an accident. If you'll excuse me, I have the unpleasant task of informing the boys' parents.
Oh yeah, no big deal. It was just a fluke accident, and we don't have to take any accountability for it. I'm just gonna call the kids' parents and tell them their son is dead. Dude, you guys are going to get obliterated in court. You're going to be hit with a wrongful death lawsuit, and you're going to be sued all out of money. This camp's going to be no more, all because you couldn't protect the safety of all your kids. This camp's done, man. But no, on it goes. We see Angela and Paul together again, and oh, look at that. Angela is happy now. She's talking more and really connecting with Paul. While on the other side, her enemies continue to cope and seethe at Angela hanging out with Judy's man.
How come Angela gets to talk to the boys all day?
You signed up for it, Adagio. I'm sorry, flirt with boys wasn't listed on the activity sheet. Angela and Paul are clearly conjuring too much power. They're infecting this camp with their lovey-dovey and their goodnight kisses. They will not stop until they become the healthiest couple since Lumity. But fear not, Meg and Judy will find ways to get their heat back, even if it means having Judy dress up in ridiculous bathing suits, or Meg trying to physically force Angela to do activities, which promptly gets her in trouble. Great counseling there, Meg.
Hey, Angela. How come you never take showers when the rest of us do?
What, you never heard of personal space? It's not in your vocabulary?
Angela's allowed to shower in the morning or any other time she wants to. She's a real carpenter's dream. The light is a board and needs a screw. That's enough! Fuck off!
Oh, and Susie with the bitch slap. Wow, that deserves an MXC Impact replay. There's the wind up, the bitch, and the slap. Yeah, like anybody would touch your crazy ass with a 4x4. You know, it is incredible how Angela has done virtually nothing this whole movie, and it's driven you into this spastic rage. All because Paul likes her better than you? Huh? Is that it? You know, I keep calling Judy Adagio as a joke, but I don't know. I think Judy is the one that's under Angela's spell. Sometime later, Angela goes out for a walk, only to get hit by one of Dirty Dog's COVID balloons.
You bastards are gonna pay for this! Cocksuckers!
Good news, Ricky, we finally got that X rating! Whatever punishment Mel gives these boys for their attack on Angela is surely not enough. And later on, one of them is promptly taken out in the bathroom with the greatest weapon of all.
Hey, get that thing out of here! Come on, get it out!
A deadly bee weapon.
Bees, my god.
So now with 2 campers dead, Mel starts to believe that there really is a killer on the camp.
Might as well pack everything and shut down. Nobody's ever going to send their kids here again. Why make things easier for the killer?
Snap out of it, will you, Mel? You're talking crazy.
Maybe I am. Maybe I'm just imagining it.
Oh yeah, that beehive just crashing through the window and stinging that guy. Yeah, no big deal. Just another simple accident. Oh, that church tower falling on that guy in Hot Fuzz? Totally another accident. No big deal. It's all for the greater good. Dude, 2 campers are now dead. Send everyone home! Oh no, now the moiterer is going after Angela? Ah, never mind. It's just Paul playing a trick on her. They go to the beach and make out, and this triggers a flashback to when Angela saw her father in bed with another man, and, Angela and Peter morphing into each other? This has to be a clue about something, but I don't know what. Oh, I know! I got it! I finally got it! Angela's uncle was her dad's brother! Twist solved! Angela rejects Paul's advances since it makes her uncomfortable. Judy now sees the chance to do a run-in and finally get her hands on Paul. As Ricky and Angela are going through the woods for Capture the Flag, they capture... Dead Man Walking. They have broken him. Adagio has officially dazzled Paul to the dark side. Angela does not take this betrayal well. Judy sees this as an absolute win and celebrates by wearing an even smaller bathing suit than before. Oh great, the next time we're going to see her, she's going to be naked, and the next time we see her again after that, she's going to have no skin. So Mel suspects that Ricky is the one who is killing the kids and apprehends him at the beach. Meanwhile, Judy and her tag team partner Meg double team Angela and melts her driver off the dock. They may have won the battle, but they have not won the war. Ricky tells Angela that these evil bitches will pay. In blood and swear words.
Execute Order 66.
So it's the night of the camp social event. It's here that we learn that Meg has been hitting it off with... Mel? Yes, a 50-something-year-old is hitting it off with a 17-year-old counselor. No wonder you idiots had already employed all these years. This is Camp Epstein. Good news, Meg. You're the next to get psychoed. Boy, if only those showers were made out of titanium. Paul finds Angela at the social and apologizes to her after what happened with Judy. But Ricky is nowhere to be seen. It's implied that Ricky is the one who has been doing all the killings, to save Angela from all her bullies. Those little kids who kicked sand at Angela earlier? Oh yeah, they too become children of the grave. When Meg doesn't come to the social, Mel goes to look for her.
Oh my God, he did this to get back at me. I had him, I let him go.
I don't know what's more stupid. Meg's corpse just jumping to life out of the shower, or Mel's half-assed attempt at a promo. Seriously, what the heck was that reaction? With her tag team partner gone, Judy is the only one left. Her deflowering session with Mike does not go well. Then again, Judy, always the thirsty one, just can't seem to help herself to every boy she sees. Quite a food for thought, don't you think? Fortunately, Rambo Ricky is here, and he has something to, tickle her unfancy.
Well?
Another bitch slap to the bitch and a curling iron to the cooch. At least she didn't die a virgin. Mel eventually ambushes Ricky and beats him into unconsciousness for killing Meg. Or did he kill Meg? Wait a minute. Was this actually Ricky in the doorway in that last scene? Who the hell even is this?
It can't be. It can't be.
Ugh. Wow, that was, a little too real. Fun fact, I actually checked this guy's Wikipedia, and did you know that he actually died of lung cancer a few months before this movie got released? Yeah, lung cancer. It was totally an arrow to the neck. I don't even have to make a Skyrim reference to tell you. Paul finally confronts Angela at the lake.
Let's go swimming.
Now? What about our clothes?
Take them off.
So after 3 weeks of doing nothing at this camp, at long last, Angela finally does something, and it's a naked night swim. Better than capture the flag, I guess. Yeah, I don't think it's any mystery anymore. Angela is the killer. I mean, it's obvious. Every kill in this movie was somebody who bullied, hazed, or even tried to sexually assault her. There are scenes where you can just see the bloodlust in her eyes. Especially that beach scene. You know something has awoken inside her. She is going to get revenge, even if it means taking the entire camp with her. Although that still doesn't explain the dude in the doorway. That wasn't Felissa Rose. You idiots! You captured her stunt double! So a police officer shows up and finds Ricky still alive. Wait a minute. You sent one cop to catch a serial killer? Wow. You guys suck almost as much as this cop's fake mustache. Eventually, Ronnie and Susie come across a naked Angela holding Paul's decapitated head. Well, at least he died happy. You know, Ronnie, this is all your fault. You should have listened to Mel and sent all those kids home after those 2 kids got murdered. But no! You wanted to protect the dignity of Camp Arawak-Off. Dignity in those shorts? Don't make me laugh. Oh, what the hell is this? Why are we cutting to crazy Aunt Martha again? 5 minutes was enough.
A little girl would be so much nicer, don't you think so, Angela? Angela. Such a lovely name. Why, I believe it means angel. Why, yes, I'm sure it does. I know you're going to like that name. Won't you, Peter?
Oh, don't be silly, Stacy Jones. That's not Peter. That's clearly Angela. Peter was the one who died in the lake at the beginning of the film. Angela was the one that survived. I don't know why you could have... Wait a minute. Was ist los? So let me get this straight. So it wasn't Angela who survived the boat crash. It was Peter. Peter was then raised by crazy Aunt Stacy Martha Jones, who I guess transitioned Peter into Angela because she wanted to have a boy and a girl in the house. That's it. The movie's gone woke. -5 stars. Bye. No, I'm just joking. So, where do I start with this ending? So yeah, looking at this through 2024 eyes, it's definitely a controversial ending. Well, with LBGT culture being more prominent, many would probably think using something like this as a scare tactic may come off as a bit distasteful. Trans rights activist Calpurnia Adams even stated in an interview that the Angela Peter character technically isn't trans, but someone who is forced into being the opposite gender by their guardian without them fully knowing. Felissa Rose has gone on record saying that she doesn't find the film transphobic. Angela is just a misunderstood adolescent dealing with trauma after her family's death, and was also sheltered almost her whole life by her crazy aunt, and was just trying to develop relationships and figuring out her identity. It's an interesting concept for its time. Like even today, maybe there's people who aren't happy with who they are and want to make changes. Maybe there's some who want to be bi or gay or want to transition into the opposite sex or just not have a gender at all. Now, putting aside all the controversies and all that other nonsense, I still fucking love this ending. It is a genuinely shocking ending and outright terrifying. From Angela's freaky facial expression to the weird noises she makes to the shrill of the music in the background, it is an awesome ending. It is one of the scariest scenes I've seen in a horror movie in quite a while. And no, that wasn't 13-year-old Felissa Rose in the dick shots. They actually used a male stunt double, covered him in blood, and put an Angela mask and wig over his head to make it look like Angela. So, big ups to Felissa Rose and the rest of the crew for making this work. But oh, what a shame. I guess the Angela-Paul relationship wasn't as healthy as Lumity after all. Still better than Starco, though. It has less of a body count. And that was Sleepaway Camp. It's got the cliches, the dorm gags, the goofy activities, the Bobby Budnicks, and hands down the shittiest counselors you could ever see in a camp. I mean, it's not like Camp I Want a Pee-Pee from Camp Fred, but oh, it's definitely up there. Wait. I do like the progression of Ricky and Angela's characters throughout this thing. Angela is the one who is mute for the first quarter, but starts to talk and develop more of a personality once Paul comes along. And Ricky is that jokester nudnik who's always willing to stand up for his cousin to the point where, towards the end, you think it's him who's actually moitering everybody, only to Russo swerve us in the end. Oh, and the kills, god damn. There's some amazing special effects and makeup work in this thing, to the point where it looks stunningly real. It almost makes you think, did they actually kill this person? There is stuff that doesn't work. Some of the acting is very bad. Some of the kids are passable, but Aunt Martha and Mel? What on earth? Well, at least when an evil person gets brutally murdered, it's always satisfying to watch, right? The movie was a moderate success, making $11 million on a $350,000 budget. And it's gone on to become a cult classic and turned Felissa Rose into a horror icon. There were several sequels, including a reunion of sorts called Return to Sleepaway Camp, but they're not really worth talking about. Overall, I think this is a solid little slasher film that is worth checking out. But on a final note, I will say this, Zeke the Plumber was still scarier. I hope you guys enjoyed this little camp adventure. I'm going to take a break for a little bit, but I will be back for a Christmas review. And in the meantime, be on the lookout for a slasher movie called My Girlfriend the Serial Killer featuring Felissa Rose. Why? You might see someone familiar in it. Peace out and cease.
Camp Anawana.
We hold you in our hearts.
And when we think about you,
I hope we wanna fart. It's I hope we never part. Now get it right or pay the price.